I met the CEO of this company, Lightmatter, very interesting company. They do photonic interconnects. So this is something I was thinking about a lot in the last few years, actually, which is that one of the big challenges of AI infrastructure is I/O. So it's basically the data flow from memory to the arithmetic unit and back. So the computation, which is very efficient, is waiting for data all the time. And with photonic interconnects, we could actually use, instead of copper, we could use fiber and light instead of electrons to move information back and forth. Now, there's a lot of questions to be answered here. For example, how does this transformation from light into electron and back and forth, how does that work, and how much energy does that require? But it looks like, at least based on the presentation, which was really inspiring, it's one of those presentations that is very clear, very concise, not a lot of jargon, even though it's a very technical subject. So it's a very interesting company, interesting CEO. Links in the show notes. I think, in my opinion, it's definitely worth looking at from an investment perspective, because this is a company that looks like it's either going to succeed or it's going to be sold to somebody. Now, what they're actually doing is sell interconnects to chip manufacturers. So the customer could be a Google with their TPU, it could be an NVIDIA, and eventually, I guess, somebody like NVIDIA would also buy them the same way they bought Mellanox. Now, they are solving the interconnect problem. They're not necessarily solving the networking problem, and they're certainly not solving the system problem. That is, they're sort of a sub part of the system where they connect the computational unit, let's say the arithmetic logic unit, with memory. And since you have faster connections with lower energy consumption, you can have much more memory attached to the arithmetic logic unit. So therefore, you can basically do a lot more math with a lot more data, and therefore you close the gap between the acceleration of computation and the I/O and memory constraints. So this is as far as I'll take it now. I think we're here at the AI Infra Summit, and this is, it's like a lot of these conferences, you have to turn around a lot of stones to find a gold nugget. This is one of them. It's very interesting company, and if nothing, it's at least an interesting concept. And I think fundamentally what we're trying to solve as an industry here is we have a lot of data requirements that need to be crunched into a model that extracts intelligence from data. We've spoken about Solomonoff induction yesterday. We've spoken about Kolmogorov statistics, about learning filters for data and filtering data and extracting information from data. We've spoken about the generality of models, the generality of data, the diversity of data. Everything is moving in the same direction, which is scale and diversity. Scale and diversity, and we have power constraints and model constraints, particularly power constraints, as the number one bottleneck right now. And photonic interconnects are a solution. I think the CEO alluded towards disruption here. So this is not just a faster horse. This is a different kind of horse. This is not just a higher ladder. This is a new solution for flight, and therefore it's interesting. I think there's a lot of challenges. Of course, the question with new types of chip architectures is always, how compatible is it with existing software platforms? How compatible is it with existing data centers? If you put billions and billions of dollars into the ground for data centers, you don't just want to change everything because you have a new interconnect. So these things need to be pluggable, adaptable, and those are all questions that I'm hopefully going to answer in the near future. Thank you.